All right, hey, good morning. It's Noel here, and in the days of Noel, and um, Monday morning, and so we're gonna continue reading from Matthew, uh, and yeah, we'll get started for the day. So here we go. Matthew 13. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, a farmer went out to sow a seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but because the soil was shallow, uh, redo. This is a bad start. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still another seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 160, 30 times what was sown. He who has ears, let him hear. The disciples came to him and asked, why do you speak to people in parables? He replied, the knowledge of uh, the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will to be given more, he will be given, uh, or he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have even what he has will be taken from him. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. Meadow, 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 Meadow. You're fine, babe. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their words, or sorry, they hardly hear with their ears, and they also have closed their eyes. Otherwise, they might see with their eyes and hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn, and I would heal them. Oh man, blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For I tell you the truth, many prophets and righteous men long to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Hey, enough! Are you guys serious? Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, The evil one comes, snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is the seed sown along the path. The one who received the seed that fell on rocky places is the man who hears. Hey, stop. Okay, there's nothing there to scratch at. It's okay. This is crazy. The one who received the seed that fell on rocky places is the man who hears the word and once receives it, and at once receives it with joy. But since he has no root, he lasts only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, he quickly falls away. The one who received the seed that fell among the thorns is the man who hears the word, but the worries of his life and deceitfulness of his wealth choke it, making it unfruitful. But the one who received the seed that fell on good soil is the man who hears the word and understands it. He produces a crop yielding 160, 30 times what was sown. That's a pretty good. Sometimes when I read through here, this is off track. Sorry. Uh, when I read through here, it's like been, you know, church for 40 plus years. Of course, the first however many you're not going to have any idea, but at least adult wise, man, try and think of like I never like even heard somebody preach on this, teach on it kind of thing. Uh, yeah, I think that's a each of these people that Jesus is describing, um, like we're all sitting there in the same, room, sanctuary, whatever it is. It seems like that'd be really good to teach on, and have us, have folks evaluate their heart, have me evaluate my heart. Anyway, the parable of the weeds. Jesus told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared. The owner's servant came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? Where then did the weeds come from?" "An enemy did this," he replied. The servant asked him, "Do you want us to go and pull them?" "No," he answered, "because while you are pulling weeds, you may root up the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvester, first collect the weeds and then tie them into bundles to be burned. Then gather the wheat uh, and bring it into my barn." The parable of the mustard seed and yeast. He told them another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and planted in his field. Though it is the smallest of all your seeds, yet when it grows, it's the largest of the garden plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and perch on it in its branches. He told them still another parable. The kingdom of heaven is like yeast that a woman took and mixed into a large amount of flour until it worked all through the dough. Jesus spoke all these things to the crowds in parables. He did not say anything to them without using a parable. So was fulfilled what was spoken through the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things hidden since the creation of the world. I think that's pretty important. All right, verse 36. This is the parable of the weeds explained by Jesus. Then he left the crowd and went into the house. His disciples came to him and said, "Explain to us the parable of the weeds in the field." He said, or he answered, "The one who sowed good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed stands for the sons of the kingdom. The weeds are the sons of the evil one, and the enemy who sows them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the harvesters are angels. As the weeds are pulled up and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of the age. The Son of Man will send out his angels, and they will weed out of his kingdom everything that causes sin and all who do evil. They will then throw them into the fiery furnace. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears, let him hear. The parable of the hidden treasure and the pearl. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again. And then in his joy he went out and sold all he had and bought the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. Oh man, it just seems like me included, you know, are constantly asking for, things. It's Jesus talking about these guys in this parable, like basically finding him, finding the kingdom of heaven, finding Jesus, and selling and giving up everything else because everything else was not important anymore. The parable of the net. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. Then they sat down and collected the good fish in the baskets, and threw the bad away. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous, and throw them into the fiery furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You uh, have you understood all of these things? Jesus asked. Yes, they replied. He said to them, therefore, every teacher of the law who has been instructed about the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out uh, who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved from there, or moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. Where did this man get his wisdom and miraculous powers? Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all of these things? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, only in his hometown and in his own house is a prophet without honor. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. Chapter 14. At that time, Herod, the tetrarch, heard the reports about Jesus, and he said to his attendants, this is John the Baptist. He has risen from the dead. That is why miraculous powers are at work in him. Now Herod had arrested John and bound him and put him in prison because of Herodias, his brother's wife Philip. For John had been saying to him, it is not lawful for you to have her. Herod wanted to kill John, but he was afraid of the people because they considered him a prophet. On Herod's birthday, the daughter of Herodias danced for them and pleased Herod so much that he promised with an oath to give her whatever she asked. Prompted by her mother, she said, give me here on a platter the head of John the Baptist. The king was distressed, but because of his oath and his dinner guest, he ordered that her request be granted, and had John beheaded in the prison. His head was brought on a platter and given to the girl, who carried it to her mother. John's disciples came and took his body and buried it. Then they went and told Jesus. When Jesus heard what happened, he withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place. Hearing of this, the crowds followed him on foot from the towns. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. As evening approached, the disciples came to him and said, "This is a remote place, and it's already getting late. Send the crowds away so that we can go to the village uh, and buy themselves some food." Jesus replied, "They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat." "We have here only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish," they answered. "Bring them here to me," he said, as he directed the people to sit down on the grass. They took 5 loaves and 2 fish. Looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people. They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were leftovers. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. When he came, he was there alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from land. Uh, Buffeted by the waves because of the wind was against it. During the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It is a ghost," they said, and they cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. On the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. Cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why do you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." When they had crossed over, they landed in Generis or whatever. I don't know if I've ever said that word. In the town. And when the men of that place recognized Jesus, they sent word to all the surrounding country. People brought all their sick to him and begged him to let the sick touch the edge of his cloak. And all who touched him were healed. All right, that was Matthew 14. Yeah. I think it's way too easy for us, especially here in the United States, to forget or not understand, you know, people like John the Baptist here, many, the disciples and many other people, in biblical times, were executed for their faith, uh, and then you know, it's still going on today, and I don't know, I don't know, it's kind of a heartbreaking thing to think about, uh, I mean, how sick does somebody have to be to behead someone, and then put it on a platter? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoy reading the Jesus' parables, and uh, I don't know, I like learning that way. Uh, so that's good stuff. Um, and yeah, uh, don't really have a whole lot today, I guess. I